Hey guys, so I'm finishing up week 3 of my foundation for my studio. If you haven't seen the past videos, I'll give you a little recap. This is my last barrel of dirt for today. This will get me about 5 bags. Well, it will get me 5 bags. And it is mixed with concrete, quickcrete. Let me get that bag for you. Quickcrete. And basically the recipe is 1 5-gallon jug. I can't think of what that name of that is, but a bucket. Okay, 1 5-gallon bucket to 1 shovelful of concrete. My shovel's pretty full of mud right now, but that's what I'm using for my shovel full of concrete. So unfortunately, I have to go up the driveway a little bit, up there where my car is, to get the dirt, because my wheelbarrow has a flat tire. But actually this is working out fine because it's good exercise, just a little stretch up the hill. And this way I can keep the wheelbarrow in place unless I get another one that is used for mixing. So you can see in here a little bit of the concrete still. I'm on my final mix here. I think you'll be able to see. Well, it's probably hard to see, but right in there you can see some. It's mixed in pretty good now, but I'm doing this by myself. So they say if you have 2 people to go on each end and start mixing. What I do is I put the first bucket down and then a scoop of concrete, then the next layer, then a scoop of concrete, and then the last layer with the concrete on top, and then I mix from there. So that is that, and then I fill my earth bags, which is on another video. I'll do a quick one for you, and then at the end of this video I'll show you how many bags I've done and how far the foundation's come. Have a great day. I probably shouldn't say have a great day. Alright, so here is our earth bag. I've already filled it with 2 scoops. I usually use 5 to 6 scoops depending on how heaping the scoop is. So it really is like a recipe. And then these are the mud balls, and I forgot to talk about consistency, but you want to get your clay or mud to be nice and firm like a mud ball or a snowball, and not falling apart and not dripping wet. So those are those. And I'm using this shovel, which is really a simple shovel with a pointed edge. And you can use probably, they mentioned on the book that I started reading and the videos, which you'll find in my earlier videos, my first videos, the references to those. Well, they mentioned like maybe taking a bucket and putting it in here with the bottom cut out so it's easier to pour in, kind of like a funnel. But what I found out is after the first scoop or 2, the bag kind of forms itself, so it's not that big of a deal. Maybe a smaller scoop would be helpful because this is a little awkward, but it's been working for me, and just haven't really had much time to change my process. And I'm actually doing pretty good now, because in the beginning it was slow, but now I'm doing about 5 bags in an hour and 15 minutes, so that's not too bad. So I'll get back with you in a second on the rest of the foundation. Alright, so I got the last 5 bags ready to go, and I'm getting a bit tired. Going to show you a little bit of the foundation now, and I'll do one more quickie before when it's totally done. You can see right here that there's a lot of the footing showing, and that's because it stops over here. This particular part of the trench I had to move. It was down here farther, and I'm going to fill, it's hard to see the angle here and the slope, but there is a slope right here, so I'm just going to fill all that in with dirt so that you won't see the rocks anymore. This will be compacted with dirt. and then everything else will be level again. But starting here, we've only done a couple layers so far on the bags. We got to finish that up. But coming down here, just like a foundation on a house, if you have a part that is lower in the ground than the another part because of the slope, then you just add. So here we probably have 1, 2, 3, I don't know, four bags up. Yeah, you can see really close down here that they're way down in there too. So on this part, in order to get it to be even with the top up there, I needed more bags. I'm not sure if I'm going to do 2 or 3 on the rest of it. I got another section going here, and I'm thinking 3 is probably the safe bet, which means more bags, but 3 will give us a good, I think, it looks like, actually these are kind of thin, so maybe my foot is 12 inches. Yeah, I'd say that's 10 to 12 inches for the foundation. And of course the footing is another 15 to 18 inches underneath. And in the other video I showed how I did that. Started with a concrete block to give it a nice flat surface, and then left a little space on top so I could put the rocks on top of the concrete block to give it place for drainage, and there's also rocks inside. So the concrete block was my idea. The book that I talked about doesn't have the concrete block, but they just have the rubble, and I just thought it would be extra strength for it. So over here, this whole section, I need that log is there because it's open. I don't have any rocks to fill that in yet. I got to go to the rock yard, which it's $2 for a 5-gallon bucket, and I just get them myself. You could get like $100 worth dropped off, but I've just been doing it little by little, so it's worked out fine. I'm trying to think of how many buckets I've had to get. I think I said maybe 25 altogether. So this stump in the middle is got to go, obviously, because that's the middle of my studio. This is 12 by 12, by the way, from end to end, because that's what we can do in Jackson County, North Carolina, for a structure that is not permitted. But that stump has to go. I started to burn it, you can see, and that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I should have done it the last few days because it's been so dry, but we'll have some more dry season. Next time I'll get it going, and then once it's pretty soft, we can probably just get an axe and knock it out. But then I'm going to have to, even here with the foundation being a little bit lower, and even though I added these bags, I'm still going to have to build up my wall to match over there, because otherwise I just have to have so many bags. So when I get to the wall building part, the good thing about Cob is that it's like clay, so you can sculpture it. So I can build this wall up like, you know, maybe, well, I actually have this is pretty much to get it level. I use this to kind of, I have the level on there. Well, it fell off, but it showed that that's about where I need it, which would mean I would need another couple bags, which I don't want to do, 2 or 3 bags. So I'm just going to build up the wall part here, and then I can finish my floor. So once that wall part's built up, then I can fill in these spots that are kind of sloping with more gravel, and I'm going to actually use glass, a layer of glass. That's one thing they recommended on that video and the book I was telling you about. So I've been saving my bottles. I got a whole bunch of bottles, and I'm going to do the first layer of glass. And you just take the tamper and smash the glass, and with a tarp over it so you don't cut your feet. And then after that, put the gravel so that everything's level, and make sure everything's level. So that's where I'm at after 3 weeks. I got to go back to work at my restaurant job tomorrow because I got to pay the bills. But I feel accomplished. This week I did 14 bags. I'm going to try to do 15 a week and get this done in the next few weeks. Have a great day. All right. Alright, so those last 5 bags went up there. Looks nice and even. We got a little swoop right there. But I probably will put that 3rd row like I mentioned. And then that's the corner, so there's going to be another bag coming down the other way on top of that to finish that off. But again, I can build up on this with the cob and make it nice and level. But that turned out nice. I feel good about that. So that's the back wall. Then this wall just has that one little spot to finish. Again, I might have to add a couple bags to make it 3 layers. And well, see, now here you can see about the slope I'm talking about, because now we're looking down at that wall right there. And then over here is the last one, which is, I think it's only about 10 feet. Maybe 12 at the most, but because this is not an even square studio. It's a little bit curvy in places. It looks pretty straight, but if you look closer up here, you'll see there's a bit of a curve. And that is what you should do when you do building with cob. It helps it to sculpt better. So this is probably a little straighter than I thought it was going to turn out, but if you're worrying about the curves, don't, because curves are good for cob. So you can see them a little bit down here too. So anyway, we're getting there. See you next week.